Hello, a very good afternoon and welcome to the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia ahead of what is going to be an extremely special weekend. The paddock here on Inside the Paddock Live is slightly different to normal. It is awash with yellow for one man and one man only, the great Valentino Rossi. This is the Grazie Vale wall here, which the man himself has signed amongst members of the paddock, as well as they say their fond farewells to the 9-time world champion. Over my right hand shoulder here, we'll see in a minute, all of the landmark career moments from what has been an incredible quarter of a century in MotoGP. And to make things just that little bit better, the doctor still got it. What a performance from the 42-year-old this morning. He will be fighting for MotoGP pole position later on this afternoon, sneaking inside the top 10 thanks to a little bit of help from his friend Pecco Bagnaia. What a performance that was, into Q2 directly, providing yet more drama over a 26 season career. Talking of FP3, let's just bring you up to speed with exactly what happened. Aleix Espargaro was fastest. He did a brilliant job, did he, Aprilia man? Not only did I speak to him yesterday and he said that the Aprilia just didn't feel comfortable around this circuit at all, but then he saw his brother Paul Espargaro suffer a huge high side at turn 13. The Repsol Honda man has gone off to hospital to receive further checks. Espargaro going fastest in the end, compartmentalising that, putting it to the back of his mind and being able to take top spot. With the Ducatis again strong, Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia look to be a real force this weekend. But the story this weekend is all about this man. These are the 9 wonders of Valentino Rossi, the 9 World Championship winning machines. And I'm pleased to say I'm joined by Wilco Zeelenberg as well. Wilco, yes. What a career it's been for Valentino, but it looks as though he's not done just yet. What a morning it was for you guys in the Petronas Yamaha squad.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we hope for a scenario like this because being in Q1 is always very difficult. Vale this year never was able to go from Q1 to Q2, or directly from FP3 in Q2. So actually we checked and it's the 6th time this year we go from the 18 races directly into Q2, which is very important. It makes life completely different because you can start at least from the middle of the pack.
It's been a fairy tale career. Can we start dreaming? Will we see the doctor on the front row maybe for tomorrow's final race of the season? It would be magical if he could.
Yeah, it would be very very special anyway if he could do something really remarkable. And in his whole career, of course, for me, Vale was always like a cat, with a lot of lives, and always when he struggled on the Friday, on the Saturday, on Sunday, he was able to do something special. But with the championship now in this level, it's much more difficult than the past to go forward. Also with our bike and missing a bit of top speed to prepare yourself really well for the corners. Yeah, we struggle in that area.
And just tell us what it's been like this weekend. Have you seen a change at all, or is he just treating it like any other weekend?
No, actually, of course, it's busy, more busy because and emotional. But he spent the same amount of time after every practice to prepare himself for the next practice. So actually, in that case, nothing was different. But of course, it's a special event, and it's impossible to say it's the same as every other race.
Let's take a closer look then at these 9 bikes behind us, the 9 wonders of Valentino Rossi. Starting at the top end, his last World Championship in 2009. Wilco, you've been in the paddock for a very long time. I'm sure you've got your own special memories associated to each of these bikes.
Yes, of course. In 2009, actually, I was not in the Yamaha factory team yet, so it was 2010. But of course, we all remember that moment that he passed Jorge in the last corner in Barcelona. That gives me still goosebumps, basically, that he was capable to do that. And if you see the ambition and the emotion and the passion, that everything is in that corner.
And you saw what Valentino was like at his peak from the opposite side of the box, of course, working closely with Jorge Lorenzo. At the peak of his powers, just how challenging was it to take on Valentino Rossi and beat him, of course?
Yeah, very, very difficult. So he used everything in his power to be the best, to stay the best. And I think we have a lot of respect for him, I have to say. Jorge has a lot of respect for Vale, and Vale has a lot of respect for Jorge. Even, of course, they were battling and trying to challenge each other to make each other weaker in some ways. But if you see the pace that they were able to do together in 2010, for example, that they were constantly, trying to get pole position, and on the charge, and yeah, it was remarkable.
Let's work our way backwards then, 2008 with the Yamaha YZR M1 once again, and then the memorable years of 2005 and 2004, the back-to-back championships when he made the switch across from Honda. What are your memories of this period? Because this move right here from 2003 to 2004 created so much intrigue. Really the first man in the modern MotoGP era to make a huge jump from the dominant HRC to Yamaha, and he made it work as well. What do you remember of that time?
Well, I think in the sport it has been the best kept secret in the championship overall. You know, nobody knew what was going on, and the jump from Vale, from Honda to Yamaha was huge, and also, yeah, it showed a lot of passion as well, because to do that and to keep on winning as well, because at that point the Yamaha was not the best bike anymore in the paddock, but the Honda was clearly strong and the bike to beat. So he made that, he took that risk, and that shows again a lot of yeah, power and strength.
And I guess the biggest thing is you look across all 9 of these bikes from 1997 with the 125 title all the way through to 2009. The biggest word that springs out to me is adaptability. And just how difficult is that, as a man in the know, is it for MotoGP riders to continue adapting different machinery, different tyres and the rest as well? Yes. But he managed to do it.
Clear, he managed to do it, and it has been a big task. Even now they are thinking on changing styles, how to use the rear brake with the thumb brake. Of course, the starting devices are very important, and step by step they are still working on their style, and I think Vale at this point was the only one who was able to keep up with the young boys.
And as we move further down as well, this one will forever remain my favourite, the 2001, the last two-stroke era MotoGP world champion. I mean, what a motorcycle that is.
Yeah, if you talk about an animal, that was really an animal. You know, there is no traction control, was a lot of power, is a very light bike, but so rigid and so scary to ride. But the most emotion, and also when you talk to Vale, that's the two-stroke bikes. They were the most, you know, powerful, and how do you say, you had the most emotion on the bike riding them.
It was a piece of art, and it still is now, 20 years on. Can you believe 20 years ago that is?
I don't think it was a piece of art. It was just an animal with without electronics, you know. So that's, but they needed to do it.
Piece of art. That's said by someone that didn't have to ride one, yes. Clearly. The 250s and the 125s as well. This is when Valentino really burst onto the scene. Of course, you yourself had a lot of experience on the 125s and the 250s. Yes. A real breeding ground of what we see, so different to the Moto 3 and Moto 2 category, yes, now, but it created such great riders.
Yes. Yeah, clearly those two-stroke bikes, especially the low-capacity bikes, you learn how to race any other bike. So those bikes are so difficult to ride, so you need to be so precise. After that you can ride nearly every bike. So I think from the old school, being on myself on an 80cc bike, but also 125 and 250, you need to be so precise, you need to understand the gearbox, change the gearing constantly to make the bike going around the track well. Because the power band was very narrow, and you need to be smart, and that's what Vale was. Vale was smarter than all the other guys, and he had the full package mentality and the talent.
Well, Wilco, thank you for your time. Brilliant insight. Just finally, 199 podiums. Could it be 200 tomorrow?
I think he needs some support of the other 20 guys to do that. But say no, never, never, because Vale on Sunday, yeah, he's always been remarkable.
He's got plenty of support on the grid with the VR46 guys, and he'll have plenty of support in the stands as well. The paddock is awash with yellow. The grandstands will be as well, as we say goodbye to Valentino Rossi. Remember, you can get in touch throughout the weekend with the hashtag #GrazieVale. Wilco, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And good luck on what's going to be a memorable weekend. Thanks for joining us.